I'm showing up to my meditation class and I'm doing my affirmation and I'm following the law of attraction, but I'm still feeling disconnected and pissed off. What's going on there? Hey guys, what's going on? It's Meshi with Path to Wellness with Meshi. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. In today's video, we are going to be chatting about exactly just that internal inner frustration that you may be feeling if you are doing your regular meditation practice and you are following the law of attraction and you're doing your affirmations regularly and you're still not really seeing progress, you're not really seeing movement. Why is that? What's going on? Is the law of attraction not working? Well, I will give you my 2 cents of what has helped me the most. But first, if you are brand new here and this is the first time that we're meeting, well, thank you so much for joining me. I am so glad that we can connect here. Consider subscribing because we usually chat here about 2 to 3 times a week on this channel. And once a week, I release a beautiful vlog video that gives you all of the mindset shifts and some car updates. Don't ask, you'll have to watch. But we chat about 2 to 3 times a week and we talk about zero waste, about conscious living, about spiritual practices and how it can actually impact your life in a more meaningful way. And if that sounds good to you, if that's your jam, then you are going to absolutely love it here. Okay, first, without keeping you here much longer, why don't we dive right into the video? So let's go. So first and foremost, if you are brand new to spiritual practices and you are brand new to alternative health practices such as yoga, meditation, chanting, kundalini yoga, then maybe we should really start right there first of what it is. Not because I'm assuming that you have no idea what it is, but because I wanted to kind of give you an overview of how I used to view it and how I view it now. And then maybe that will kind of give you a little bit of context of why your practice might not really be giving you that level of fulfillment that you're really looking for. So, first of all, what is a meditation practice? Well, a meditation practice it's a practice where you are sitting in silence. Actually, most commonly, it's known as you sit in silence and you control the focus of your attention. So the whole idea behind it is sort of your meditation practice sort of begins around the time when your mind wanders, which inevitably it always will. And you can take that moment to tame that attention and bring it back to whatever your focus is. Now that can be done through mantras or through a prayer or through intentional breathing or a guided imagery, whatever path you're taking on. It can also be used with it can be a loving kindness meditation. You can also do moving meditation. So there's many different kinds of meditation. There's many different styles of meditation, but ultimately the essence is still the same. For you to find that tiny bit of space where you can take that control back of how your mind functions and what the attention completely goes to. So that's sort of the idea behind it. Let's talk a moment about affirmations. What are affirmations? Affirmations, as the name would suggest, is you're affirming something that is already taking place. And ideally, the whole idea behind affirmations is that you manage how your subconscious mind views your world, because your subconscious mind does not speak in don't, it does not speak in negatives, it only speaks in, and it only understands imagery and it understands repetition. So imagery works really well whenever you create like a vision board or something that you're looking at on a continual basis, because then that way you can create the emotions and then your mind can take that on as truth and your mind can take that on as something that has already taken place. So that's sort of where affirmations can be really helpful, because if you are trying to build, and that can be applied to many different areas of your life. So if you're trying to build more self-confidence, or you're trying to grow into a role, maybe in your career, or you're trying to attract more abundance in your life, whatever, or you're trying to attract love in your life, or you're looking for a partner, you can pretty much apply that in all areas of your life by creating an affirmation in the present tense so that it has already taken place. It's already happening right now. So they can be very powerful. However, you might find that it leaves you a little bit shortchanged sometimes. So whether we're looking at your meditation practice or your affirmation, and one of the reasons that I personally found that it left me a little bit shortchanged, or that it wasn't really delivering on that spark of magic that it really truly has the ability to do so, it's simply because I feel like, for me personally, and I don't know if you guys relate, but you can let me know in the comments if maybe you relate to this. I found that I set my expectations way too high from the get-go. So what does that mean? With my meditation practice, I would listen to certain podcasts, and maybe you do the same too. I would listen to an audiobook or certain podcast that would suggest that if you wanted to do meditation correctly, then you should actually be meditating 20 minutes a day, twice a day, instead of starting with like 5 or 10 minutes a day. Well, first of all, what if you only have 5 minutes a day? You probably have more, but what if you only have 5 minutes of controlled attention at this given day? What if that's all you can give? Does that mean that you're somehow not good enough, or that you can't benefit from a meditation practice? No, my friend, that's not what that means. What it means is that you need to meet yourself with compassion of where you're at, instead of setting a super high expectation with a skill set that you might not have acquired just yet. Just yet is the key word here. So I want you to really hear me on this, because I think that one of the main reasons why most people quit a meditation practice too soon is because they are not giving themselves the grace period to actually obtain the skill set, so that they can sit with their thoughts, they can sit with their emotions, and see sort of how that feels. And that can be super intimidating, especially because you're doing the complete opposite of what your society and your environment is training you to be like. So if you're constantly on your phone, if you're constantly find yourself being completely distracted, if you're constantly feeling like you need to consume more and more information and more content, whether you're on Instagram or on Facebook, or you constantly feel like you need to chime in, you're actually overloading your brain. So there's no question that a meditation practice practiced regularly can be hugely beneficial to anyone's mental health. Nobody's questioning that. But I also think that as a true beginner, you need to give yourself the grace period for you to be able to transition into a longer practice, and you need to let yourself off the hook so that the benefits can start taking place. You know, it's sort of like when you first start using stevia. You might totally hate this taste, but you kind of force yourself through it. And the thing is that it's an acquired taste, and it takes a little bit of time for you to get used to it, because your taste buds, it takes time for it to kind of switch over from the processed sugar to stevia. I'm just saying, but you kind of get my point. Now, affirmations, what's up with affirmations? Why is that not working? Well, I think for me, affirmations it can feel like with these with spiritual practices and alternative healthcare practices, it can feel like if you're not doing it, then somehow you're missing out, or two, somehow you're not good enough. Like it's somewhere along the way, there's like this underwritten rule that there's an endless list of practices that we should be practicing on a daily basis. And somehow if we're not, then we're not only shortchanging our health, but we're sort of missing out. That fear of missing out on something potentially beneficial for our health can feel really stressful, and it can feel like, again, we're adding that extra layer of pressure. So what has helped me the most, and maybe that will help you as well, is to start using affirmations once a week, and then move to 2 to 3 times a week, and then use them daily. And instead of feeling like you should be doing your affirmations, your prayers, your bullet journaling, your morning meditation, your yoga practice, your kombucha, your green juice, all before 8 o'clock in the morning, that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure for anyone. And I've come to realize that it's not about you doing it perfectly once. When you go through all of these health practices once, the idea is that I will provide you with a full buffet of health practices that can enhance your life, and you understand how it helps you. You try it on, see if it helps you, and then you know when you need to tap into each of them. Because we don't need to be working with crystals every day unless you want to. You don't need to set your affirmations and your intentions unless that's what you're really drawn to do. You don't need to go to Kundalini yoga classes every single day unless that's what you want to do. So I want you to let yourself off the hook just a little bit and take that pressure off that you need to be doing all of the things in order for you to make a big difference in your health. Because doing a little bit of something each day that will move the needle for you in the self-care department will be so much more beneficial, and you're doing them imperfectly is going to be so much more beneficial than for you to adding all that pressure on, and then you're not only, it's not that you're not doing it perfectly, but it's just you're doing it miserably. Like you're miserable doing it, and then you're going to stop. So, and then that's sort of when people kind of fall back into their old patterns. So especially when you're looking to change your behavior pattern from how it was so that you're managing your mental health in a healthier, more holistic way, I just want you to give yourself a little bit of grace period so that you give yourself time to obtain those new skill sets. Setting affirmations and taking on a new meditative practice is one of those things. This is going to be one of the few videos that I'm going to be covering in this series because I really wanted to address that emotional pressure that we as women can set on ourselves. Men do that too, by the way, so gentlemen, don't exclude yourself from this, but primarily women do this very often, where it just feels like the endless list of the things that we should be doing, it just never ends, and then you end up leaving feeling really drained, really frustrated, really disconnected, and really snappy and aggravated. So if you felt that way up to this point, well, relief is on the way. Question of the day. I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know if you have struggled with keeping up with a regular meditation practice or setting or using affirmations. What was your experience? Do you find it helpful? Do you find that it helps you connect deeper? Or do you find that it leaves you frustrated and disconnected? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. This is all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you have found this helpful and useful. If you did, you already know what to do. You can give me a thumbs up, you can subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications so you don't miss another video. And in the meanwhile, keep seeking, you guys, because you're just so much more powerful than you think when you give yourself the permission to shine. I will see you again in my next video. Bye.